What's good, everyone? I hope that you're having an amazing start to your day. I just want to make sure everything is good. I hope that you're having an amazing start to your day. Let me know. So I know I can hear myself, but let me know if the music is either too loud or too soft. Maybe it needs to be a little bit louder. I can't really tell. I don't want to be playing it back over, but I hope you're having a great day. Um, yeah, so just kind of getting started with today. We're going to kind of go over what we're expecting. Again, today I'm not going to be trading. I'm just going to be tape reading. That's what we would call it. And just having levels on there and looking to see if they'll respond off of. Pretty much the targets I would be looking for the last, I don't even know, 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3, almost 4 weeks. The last month, they finally got hit yesterday. And you see this large range expansion. That's kind of what we were looking for. So we finally got that. So happy about that. Today we had a large week. We could potentially be getting a TGIF, which is a reversal on a Friday, but I'm not against price still trading higher. So we'll kind of see what we're gonna get here. But again, yeah, I'm thinking potentially we can go a little bit higher, but because of how we responded off of this, just based off the higher time frame. But again, we'll just be tape reading today and kind of see what the market presents us. So this is the SMT chart that I use. Again, this looks really smooth up here, so we could come up here first. Ultimately, good morning. Okay, the music is good. Perfect. Okay, thank you. I'm just not sure. I'm gonna keep the settings the same, so it should all be fine. But this up here looks really, really smooth. I'm hoping, and I think that we may want to come up here on Dow. We may not come up on the other ones, but we may come up here on Dow. So we could get sympathy in the rest of them. We have a pretty small opening range gap. So if this remains where it's at right now, I'm not trading today, but pretty much nothing would be of interest for me until after 10 o'clock, so I wouldn't even be doing anything till after 10 if this remains where it's at right now. So we're gonna go figure out levels that we're looking at. So I wish I didn't necessarily do this now, but this 15-minute fair value gap, also this inverse fair value gap on the hourly time frame. Notice how we have this order block in the upper portion. So this is what I would expect if we were bullish, and you see that we traded down into it with this volume balance there, and we look like now that we could see some higher prices coming. But again, we have to wait until most likely 10 o'clock based on what's happening. But again, we're paper trading. As you can see, there's no buttons up here, so I'm not pressing anything. If there's no buttons up there, this is a tape reading session. I'm not willing to put any money on the table, and that's the clearest indication to kind of let you know what I'm doing for the day. Yes, I'm going to be starting to add a little bit of like the lo-fi in the background. This is copyright free. Well, we'll see if it's actually copyright free, but that's what it says on the thing. So I think it's like 12 hours, and we're not going to be doing a 12-hour stream ever. So we'll mix it up. But yeah, we're just going to go forward with that. And yeah, we'll see what we get today. We'll see what we get. How's everyone's week been? I also think I'm going to practice this when we have, I gotta see. I kind of like being able to look at all the time frames, but I do want to be able to like zoom in. Like once we kind of have our framework and our setup, I do kind of want to zoom in on the 1-minute chart on the time that I'm trading. But we'll see if that's what I end up doing. I kind of like being able to see what's happening on all the charts. So that's what I'm going to do. But we'll see how that works. Remember, this is always the first presented fair value gap, so we don't get confused, and these are always just higher time frame levels that are projected so that we can see them on the time frame that we're trading on. That's all this is. I also think that we can see this wick here. We have failed to hit consequent encroachment, but that's kind of what we would expect if we're actually looking for higher prices, because there's an order block in the upper portion of this 15-minute fair value gap. So this is what we would be expecting if we were looking in a trade or looking to get in on this breaker. I would look for this fair value gap with this volume imbalance, so the trade would be there, and then it'd be looking for 50 handles. If this was a live trade, if I was looking for that based off what happened here, this volume imbalance, this fair value gap, I would expect it to be where I would enter. I would not enter up here because we've already been in there. I want to see a trade down to here. Also, where this bounce has occurred here, also it's an institutional order flow entry drill, which means that it came like this. So it came down into the gap slightly and didn't complete it, and then moved it away, or then price moved away. So where this bounced, we also had a new week opening gap high from December 15th. So we have a lot of things that potentially look like we could, want to maybe stab up above here again. And remember on Dow how we said this to me looks like shark bait. It looks like it's waiting for the sharks to come get them. This same signature, remember how yesterday I kind of talked about how the way the price was set up and the way it was looking, I kind of sound like Kevin Hart there, the way my bank account is set up, it was pretty much the way price was setting up. It looked like this to me. So that's why I think that we could draw up here, and I think this could be a sympathy draw and ultimately take out this high here, up here. So we're gonna see what we get. This is no longer relevant. We don't need that on there at all. But that's what we're looking for. Yeah, we're gonna, the bank account, sometimes it be like that. Yeah, the way my trading account is set up is I can't take this trade. Maybe I started saying that. I'm telling you, this stream's gonna get a lot better when I have like a stream deck, cause I'll be able to do like little voiceovers or whatever, and click a button and it'll do something. So I'll have some funny things in there. I might even have that one. The way my bank account is set up, I'll have that little like clip. Yep, you can look at this price action again. Not interested in that. And we have our Trump is speaking again today. I kind of was making the video for this week, and I don't think I've ever seen a week where a president spoke every single day. I'm like, what does he have to say that's so important? Every day. But I guess it invites volatility. So I'm not mad at that, but it's like, is it necessary? Like, wait till Saturday or something. Yeah, we're chilling, so if we were in this trade, we're not. 1.75 handles a drawdown. That's not bad. And then you'd be looking for 50, which is out of the screen. technically how far we need to go, and you see that that is way below where we'd be targeting. So that's a viable trade setup for me. I like ones that have more to where I think it can go, because that allows me to see, allows me like room. Like let's say it goes up here and fails. Even if it comes up there, I still have a good trade. So that's what we're looking for. We'll see if we get higher prices. Again, I am aware of potentially what it could be today in terms of a TGIF, but I think that we could potentially get sympathy and have, because Dow wants to trade up here, I think we could get sympathy up there. Now, Dow may trade up here, and it doesn't mean that these two have to trade up here either. It could just fail and not happen, and that's fine too. You know, I'm not really pressed about today. Again, it's a tape reading day, so we'll see what we end up getting. But I think sympathy, we could at least target this. I'm not saying we may take this out today. We could or we could not. But I think at least moving in this direction is a possibility based off what happened all down here. So we could like expand above here. We could use this candle here if we are able to create a fair value gap above this. We could use this down close candle here because of the response off of here. This would be a propulsion block if we can trade above it, and then we could target this high and this high, and again there's just layered liquidity there. So we'll see what we get here. Just need to see the same support in ES is more or less where I'm looking. If I don't see the same support in ES, that's kind of where I'm a little bit more concerned. But if we have no support in Dow, I don't necessarily really care about that. I don't put too much pressure or too much weight on Dow, because yesterday Dow was going lower and we already knew that we were looking for higher prices, so didn't necessarily do anything. Didn't change my opinion either. Anybody have any plans for Valentine's Day? So about 6 minutes until the 9:30 open. Again, based on where it's at, like, you know, I'm probably gonna wait till 10 to even like really look at levels that are really important to me because of where it's at. Like this is yesterday's closing price. This is where we are right now. That's not a lot of range, so I'll most likely elect to wait until 10 o'clock to even look for key levels. But I do like to see beforehand to see if we can find anything that we can get like a little x-ray view on the market before it kind of opens and what's being respected. So I think it's important to find that in before the market opens, so you can kind of get an idea of what to expect in the market. Again, we have Dow kind of trading up to those highs that I had mentioned before we started. Yeah, I think that's definitely in play. We may be able to get that up here too, and again, if we get up here, I would expect NQ to trade up there as well. Because I mean, this again, shark bait. That they're just waiting to get tagged. So we'll see. Again, in no rush, content with you know, my week so far. So gonna just chillax today. Yeah, so responded off of that. Yeah, I am thinking that we're gonna take this out. Maybe we run up there, and then maybe it could be a reversal, but we'll see what we're getting on the other on ES and YM. Yeah, just not a lot of range here. For like all the way up here, then potentially there is no waiting until 10 o'clock, but we just got to see where we're at. I mean, I'd like to see somewhere. Yesterday, I think it was 49.75. I think this was the opening range gap. That's okay for me, especially for what I was looking at. If yesterday had unfortunately been less, like almost 30 or less, I probably would have had to wait till 10 and maybe or may not have found a setup. Who knows? There actually was a setup after 10, so I would have found one if it would have played out the same way like it did. But yeah, so we're just looking at the opening price, and that kind of it gives us an indication of what we should be waiting for. This is not in place yet. That's just there. Let me show you. It's not in place. I'm just kind of waiting to see it print so that I can adjust this. That's all that is. But yeah, sympathy play. Expecting this to go higher. These should follow. The thing is, I wish I could hear the music. I actually can't hear the music. I know you guys can, but I can't. If I put the music, then you'll hear it twice. You hear the music in the background, and then you'll hear it through my microphone, which obviously is not good. But I hope it's a vibe, because I listened to it for a little bit. I don't know what song is playing now. I don't know even what it is. I can check, I guess. It's on YouTube. Looks nice. All I see is a sand, pretty much. I don't know where this picture is, but it's definitely a computer generated picture. But yeah, I hope it's a vibe. Okay, we have about 20 seconds left, so I'm just gonna sit on the screen right now, just so I can kind of map it out. But yeah, it's looking like a day where 10 o'clock is going to be our friend. And that's fine, because it's like way down here or something. Okay, 1 minute right there. So how large is this range, just so we know? Yeah, 24. So we're going to wait until 10 o'clock pretty much to look at anything. I understand we're not trading, but that's the time we're going to wait till anyways. Wait till that. But again, we're looking for higher prices. We're looking for us to see if we can attack up here. But you know, when I have a time stop, what I like to do is, or a time element where I'm waiting for, I put this arrow here. Oh, it's a nice vibe. Okay, cool. Glad to hear that, because I don't want it to just be dead silent, because in yesterday's stream, sometimes it's just like, if nothing's happening, there's really nothing for me to talk about. So I don't want it just to be quiet or feel like I always have to say something. So we'll see. Again, we were looking for this to get taken out. It may just run. Again, the setup that we saw beforehand was here, and it needs to pretty much go 50 handles. But again, I would not take this, but just explaining where I was looking beforehand. You have to reach up there for it to be a valuable trade option, or at least for it to be I guess a successful trade is what I'm trying to say. It has to reach up there. We have Dow had gone up and now it's kind of retracing a little bit. But yeah, so we wait. There's nothing here that's important right now to me. I always wait till the first presented fair value gap gets formed. So even if this is here, there's still no trade set up for me. There's nothing there. I just want to show Dow. But I think it's retracing down, just like this is. I don't think this is a... Yeah, I think this is people trying to buy on buyout, or breakouts, I'm sorry. When people buy on breakouts, they get pulled raked back against. That's honestly what I think that is. So I'm just trying to make it big enough so you guys can kind of see. Because sometimes I feel when I rewatch certain parts of the stream, it looks so so small and tiny. Yeah, at any point if the music gets too loud, just let me know. I don't think it should, but just let me know. Let's go. So you see kind of how now, like, I still believe it's going to go up a little bit higher. I still believe that we may start attacking this or potentially going up there. But look how look at the opening, right? It's really choppy. Like, this is what I'm expecting because of how small this is. So I'm expecting this type of price action. I mean, it would have been nice if it kind of had ran up there, but that's not what I would have been expecting with a 24 handle, whatever it is, opening price or gap opening. So you kind of just wait for it to clear out, and ultimately goes up here before 10 o'clock because that's what we're looking for. But again, no trading, then that's just what happens today, and that's completely fine. So I'm kind of expecting a late first presented fair value gap. So maybe like towards like 39, 38, even sometimes it can go to 40, but I don't think we'll get that today, but you never know. So we have Dow trading higher. Again, I think Dow is gonna attempt this. I think we'll get an attempt there. Earlier in my trading career, I would see this as a breaker. Maybe I'm in now. I don't know. But I'd be so mad and upset that it's not moving, and I'm just sitting there like hoping and that price will start moving and price will start doing specific things, and it's just not time for price to do things yet. It's not clear right now, even though I have levels. Let me just clear this out so you can kind of see this a little bit better. Even though there's levels here that I'm expecting price to move away from or show support at, it's just not time. As you can see, there's been no excitement in price yet, right? It's just, there's a lot of wicks. That's also letting me know that it's high resistant because there's a lot of wicks. It's 935, and the first presented fair value gap has not been formed yet. Yesterday it was 931. The day before that might have been 932. So again, very quick first presented fair value gaps. This has not formed it yet, so I just wait. Like, there's no need to be in a rush to get into any trade setup, like none. It honestly could do this the whole day. Like, it doesn't have to move anywhere. But I don't want to be caught in this at all. At all. so we took out that low. Now if I was expecting for, if I want to see more bullish price action, we should see speed away from this low, not hanging below it. It should, the next candle should start to move away higher if we're in fact, you know, on sides. So I'd want to see this candle, if not the next candle, start to expand away, because this would be a stop run. I expect that to be a stop run inside of a gap, inside of a higher time frame. So I'd expect us to start moving up a little bit higher if we're going to eventually tack up here. I'm also watching the bodies. The bodies are unable to close inside of this, so I'm watching that as well. Dow and S&P are showing a little bit more strength. So again, I think that it's a little bit of a, that's just a stop run down there. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking it's hanging around here, trying to accumulate, and then we'll tack up here, because this is short-term buy side. This is what you would see, like if I'm doing like short-term, that's a little X. So that's the target for the first initial target. That's right there. I like that close, and I think that we should start to show us a little bit more speed trading up to here, also with what we're seeing on the other two. So I think it's important to kind of know what the other two are doing, so you don't get confused about this being below this low and you think it's a sell. I was thinking that that's a buy because of what I'm seeing in the other two. They're not showing that weakness where NQ is showing the weakness. Now eventually I want to get to the point where like I'm taking this like right on, but I'm not there yet. So that'll take some time, because I mean, you buy this below this low, 50 handles is right there. So you buy below the low, and then you're looking for, or I'd be looking for price to hit up there. But yeah, not yet. That's not my trade setup yet. That's not my personal setup, but it'll come at some point. And again, let's say we create a fair value gap here at 938. How I said that we would have a later first presented fair value gap today. That's the first presented fair value gap. If from where we are here, if we can create this, I would like to see us, whoopsie, no, it's not created there. What I was gonna say is I'd like to see it remain open, but we have yet to create one yet. So yeah, this is a really late one. This may go down one more time, but look how choppy it is today. Notice how this doesn't really look like yesterday at all. We see Dow showing some strength. Again, I think we're gonna target up there on Dow. Would like to see us get up there on NQ and also ES, but we may not. But Dow for sure, I'm thinking it's going up there for sure. But let's go back to NQ. It's choppy. I'm sure people are in here trying to trade this. Good luck. Let's see if we're hitting any, nope. I was trying to see if we were hitting any like new day opening gaps, but no, we're not hitting anything. Dow's trading higher, NQ is, you know, kind of being a little bit fickle right now, and ES is trading above its high. So I think this is going higher. I'm not convinced that it's going lower. I just think that it's holding and waiting and chopping people up, getting them in short, getting them in long, and then it's gonna eventually go higher. That's my thought process. This yesterday, let me make sure this is only seen on this one. again, why I took the day off, why I was not interested in any type of trading today, is look at this price action. Like, it's not beneficial right now for me to be in this and trying to find something in here. And also there's no sign of anything for me yet. Look at S&P and Dow, so that's why I think this is all just chopping. And look where the bodies are closing. The wicks are doing the damage. The bodies are telling me the story, so I'm not concerned about it being down there. But let's go look at Dow, pretty close. S&P is charging, so this should catch up. But it's just not time yet. Like, these are the days that I would blow my accounts. These are the days that I would just be frustrated and angry. Because it's not doing anything right now. Even though I believe it's going to go higher, it's not doing anything right now. Like, it hasn't shown me something that, like, there's no actual setup. Like, yes, I can say, you know, buying below this low, but there's really no setup for me there. I expect this 5-minute order block. I should have, I guess, put it on there. I mentioned it earlier in the stream, but this is a 5-minute order block. Also look kind of where the bodies are. Oops. When the bodies are closing on this order block, on the 1-minute chart, they're kind of being held. So that's what I'm also looking at there. I mean, it could fall out of bed and just go lower. That's fine too. We have 23 seconds until the next 15-minute candle. Dow and ES look pretty strong here, so I'm gonna lean on that unless we get something else. Again, it's 9:45. Still have no first presented fair value gap. Like, that's letting you know something. It's letting me know that it's just not time. This is so late. Like, I can't even remember the last time I saw a first presented fair value gap that got formed in the 40s on NQ. Like, that's crazy to me. That's so crazy. Hope it comes around here soon. We'll get our first presented fair value gap soon, but still, that's like so late. ES is trying to make a push higher. I don't think it's time yet. I mean, there is an order block here. We kind of close at the same price. I don't think it's time yet to start like labeling things. Again, after 10 o'clock is when any interest for me starts, is then, in terms of like actually putting more levels on that make sense, that I would expect to see specific or see price move away from. That's kind of when I would see it. I mean, I did note that order block there, but nothing yet that excites me. Okay, we're starting to get some type of some type of movement away here. Let's see if we can create a fair value gap here. And this be formed at what? 946. Man, that's long. Nope, nothing. Still no first presented fair value gap. Nothing. Dang. This is an interesting day. I don't think I've really seen one this late. Or formed this late. It's just overlapping everything. Which is a characteristic of a high resistant day. Very high resistant. Meaning when I say that, price is not allowed to move with ease. It struggles. Price is struggling to move. That's when I say high resistant, that's what I mean. Okay. Do we get one here at 947? So we are now starting to attack this down here. Up here. Just want to make sure we get the same. It looks like this may be it. Looks like we may get this first presented here. We do have this candle here with this wick, and I believe that we should tack above there, or attack this and ultimately up there. Maybe we don't get it now. So yeah, 947 potentially is the first presented fair value gap, which that's so late. No, still not there. That's crazy. I've never seen a day like this, to be honest. That's a wick, considered a gap as well, but yeah, this is wild to me. Again, a day I'm not interested in. I wonder if Trump is saying something actually. That could be a little bit too. I don't know if they have him speaking. Nah. He's been usually speaking in the afternoon. So yeah, nothing yet. But again, this wick here is technically considered a gap. Notice how we trade back down into it, but there's no gap yet. In terms of a actual fair value gap. It's not there. See where we stop to. Let's do this. Let's grade this. See how it fails to hit constant encroachment of this wick. So, yeah, again, we've been looking for higher prices the entire time. Just look how ugly this is, actually. Very ugly. I wouldn't want to be sitting in this trade down here. Like, even if I bought below this low, all this I don't want to sit in. I'm not interested in it. I don't want to sit in it. It's not, yeah, just nothing for me. But you see how it's struggling to go higher, and there's just a lot of struggle happening there. So again, more indication to like do nothing. So now the macro has started. So you can put that on there. 950. It's already 950 to 10. This is a macro. I talk about it in my videos pretty much. This is what ICT has taught around these times. This is when you want to focus on trading. This is when you would expect a move to happen or a move to occur in price. So you want to be trading around them. It's what do you call it? Like a price is run on an algorithm, and so this is a time element that where price is going to spool or run in a direction. So you can see it was being held, and then notice how once we enter the macro time, now price is allowed to move. Yeah, very shallow run above that high. This is ridiculous. $9.52, no first presented fair value gap. What's happening? What's happening? What is happening? On higher time frames, we have a gap. So like the 5-minute chart, look, we have this gap here. Same thing with a 4-minute chart, there's a gap. 2-minute chart, there's a very, very small gap. 3-minute chart, there's a gap. But on the 1-minute chart, no gap. Starting to see a little struggle here. I do think we're gonna go a little bit higher, but Dow's kind of faded away. We do have SMT here currently. This is not able to get up there. That was able to get up there. So we'll see, but yeah, this is a first for me in terms of the first presented fair value gap being so just not there actually. I mean, this may technically be it. I think you may count this, but that's so small. I mean, I guess that would actually be it. That would be the first presented fair value gap right there. So it occurs at 9.53, and look how small that thing is. It's a volume imbalance and the first presented fair value gap. That's just like, that's so crazy to me. I've never seen it like look like that. Wow. 9.53. So that's the first presented fair value gap that formed at 9.53. Look how small it is. But it can support price, but yeah, that's not something that I'd be really interested in. Too small. Ain't even really worth it. You can obviously see all of this price action you don't want to be in. Remember, we have SMT here, there, and this has failed. So we could potentially be seeing some weakness, but I would still be looking for up here. So notice how we traded down. I'm gonna do this. So we know that that is an EO Fed on the 5-minute chart. So institutional order flow entry deal on a 5-minute chart. There, hitting. I don't know if we hit that one. Hitting this order block. So we'll see what we get here. So again, we keep going up above highs and then rejecting. So that's very concerning for if you're looking for higher prices. It should be expanding above. I understand it's high resistant, but you should see more out of it than what we're getting right now. But just look at the amount of wicks that we have. Just a day to just chill. Just chill. Again, because of the size of the opening range gap, we have to wait till 10 o'clock anyways. So I'm not really noting anything other than we kind of saw this institutional overflow entry drill. I think that's important. But yeah, nothing really over here excites me. There's nothing I can use to the left, at least on a 1 minute chart, that helps me gain a better understanding of how to read price. There's nothing over here on the 15 minute chart. You just have this wick and you have this order block down here, which again is so deep. Only thing we have on a 5 minute chart is this fair value gap, which is the low of this candle. We had a order block here, which could be a propulsion block, and we had initial price traded down into it, but then kind of closed above. Again, where the body's closing as of right now, this is showing a lot of support. So I'd expect for us to, I like to put this on the other side so we can kind of see. Attacking this buy side, that's what I'm looking at. But for me, after 10 o'clock, it looks like it's gonna form. If we're gonna go higher, I think it's waiting till after 10 o'clock. Because we also fell short of these. Let me put this actually here. This is where the SMT has been formed with ES. So we also fell short of that, and look how close we got to it. So I think we could at least come up here. Back in the first presented fair value gap. So again, a lot of overlapping price runs, a lot of wicks. That's not what you want to see in your trade. And if you can identify that in your trade, I would be taking a lot off the table when it runs above a high. As you can see here, runs above a high, comes right back down. Runs above a high, comes back down. That's what you expect in these type of market conditions. So I'm not surprised that of the market, or pretty much how the market is behaving. I'm not surprised. I expected this from 9:30, and even probably before that, I could see that we could potentially get a day that looks like this. Also, there's just a lot of things stacking. Okay, so now it's 10 o'clock, so now things can we can start to look at things differently and see what we've kind of gotten already. But we had a lot of things stacking in our favor to let us know that this was not a day to be trading. Like, just let it go. We've expanded a lot on the daily time frame. We had a small opening range gap. Just chill. It's Friday. Like, there's a lot of things that they help us identify days where it's good to trade and days where it's just rather do nothing. But these are really good days for helping you be patient, helping you to see that not every day is a trading day or a good opportunity to trade. On the 50-minute chart on ES, we actually have a fair value gap right here that overlaps with this breaker. So I want to kind of see what happens there. Because we have that fair value gap overlaps with this breaker. So again, I'm thinking this is still going to go higher. It's just holding right now. I'm going to look at this wick just to kind of see where we are. We're dipping back down into this. Oops. So we're kind of below. This is that level in terms of the wick. We're now hitting this. So now we're trading down into the 15-minute fair value gap on ES, and we're now trading down to this order block on the 15-minute chart. Let's note that. This is what we see here. So let's see kind of a reaction when we get there. So we get it kind of showing us that we're going to go higher. This EO Fed I'm going to take off. I am watching this 5-minute. I want to see how and where we close inside of this gap here. Because if we still come down here and then end up closing at least a little bit higher inside of this gap, that kind of lets me know that this was just kind of jamming itself down below. I also want to see this gap here just get completely disrespected, just completely run right through it. Don't even show any reason to hold this. And that would kind of show us that we're still aiming for up here. And then again, I'd use, if we can do that, if we can run just right through this, have no regard for this gap, shown respect for what we've been looking for, showing the same thing in ES, this candle right here, if you create a gap over it, that's this one I'd be looking at in terms of price being able to show a breaker, because we high, low, higher, high, if we can create a gap. And again, no trade for me, but I mean, it doesn't even offer that amount of handles, but that's fine. But that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking to see signatures that let me know that it's time to actually get into a trade. Let me know. Thank you. Sorry about that. Hopefully the music is okay, cool. Hopefully the music is better now. But yeah, that's what we're waiting for. So again, this is reaction, this is excitement. Remember, after 10 o'clock, we'd be looking for a trade. Notice how we're starting to see some price we're starting to see price move with speed. Now, something I've contemplated with in turn, trying to figure out how I would potentially trade something like this. But this is a breaker. It's already a breaker. Breaker block. So buying inside of this and then expecting price to go up here and also expecting it to reach up to here. Just because it hasn't taken out this high doesn't mean it's not a breaker. That's just the setup that I like. I like it to take it out here. Now, why I'm bringing this up is because we have done a lot of holding. We've been in a lot of holding patterns where price has not been able to move. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so we're in here, we're in this gap. I would expect this to remain a breakaway gap. I don't think we should trade down to here. That's what I would expect. Where is it? Breakaway gap. So I'm expecting this to be a breakaway gap. We've done a lot of accumulating, so I'd expect if it comes in here, I just want to buy it and then trade up to there and up to there. That's like my thought process because of all of the stuff that has happened down here. We've been holding, so I don't expect this to create a fair value gap to trade back down into it and then trade higher. So that's something I'm contemplating with, and we'll add that in later on in my breaker arsenal. but that is something that I did notice, and that's kind of what I would expect today. Now this trade setup doesn't really offer the amount of handles that I normally would look for, but buying inside of this anywhere to me would be ideal, even though it didn't close above it. So if we create a fair value gap here, I'm not expecting it to do this and come down and then go higher. Like kind of what it's already doing right now is we've kind of traded through it, and then now we're just expanding above it. That's what I would expect from this. So now it's come back down into it. There's no gap. I would expect this to hold price. That would be my expectation. I wouldn't even want to see it go below this middle. Let's darken the box. I'll make it. Ooh, can't even see that. Red. I don't want to see it go down there. It could come tap it, which it did, but going down there is a no-go. So again, this was the first buy side they were looking for, where there was technically SMT there. Notice how it didn't even create a fair value gap above this breaker because of all the accumulation we did down here. So I'm thinking that's why I would just buy it initially what's in here and put my stop loss down there, expecting it to do this, and it's fine. It came down but did immediate rebalance, so now we've had that. So I'll take a picture of that. Ultimately, we're looking for this buy side. So now that this one has been taken, I'm gonna do it a little bit lighter color. But we're still expecting for this one to get hit. A fair value gap here. I like to see it remain open. And we're pretty close to this. Remember, we were looking for Dow to kind of bring it up there. We did have S&P kind of getting close too. This is getting close. So I don't want to see it kind of come up here and like kind of start giving back everything. Again, oops. I understand the conditions we're in, so this can be it can be treated as a fair value gap. I personally would not want to see this one get traded to. I'd want to see this remain open, because then that's letting us know that there's a lot more to it, and I can expect potentially this to get traded to. Let's just show this real quick. Dow, we're almost there. We're almost to the shark bait. Almost there. So I want this to remain open. I don't even want it to touch it. This is a breaker within itself, so it can come down here, but I'd rather it not. Notice how also this formed inside of the macro time. So we have about, well, it's about to be over. Now ends the macro time. So this is 10. Oh no, we still have a minute left. So within this minute is the last, I guess the last minute in the macro. So I do want to see if we can get up here. If we can just kind of trade up here, that's all that the stream will be for me. Like, I'm not just gonna wait. Like, whatever happens at this point, honestly, is nice. But this is the framework. This would have been the breaker. I explained why it was a trade setup then and what we could be expecting. And so if we can get up here, that's nice. If we fall short and come all the way down here, that's also fine. But yeah, for me, it's also Friday. I would never take this trade based off how my week has gone. This would not be a trade setup that I would be taking. But I can understand and was able to identify why I would trade here, why this would be a breaker block, why I would buy inside of it. And I like that this has remained a breakaway gap, and I would love to see it hit up there first before it even comes down here. I don't think that from where it's at right now, coming back down here to go up there, I don't think that's a trade idea that I would be excited about. Now if it creates a gap here, that's fine. Again, I want to see that one stay open. But coming up there, trading back down here, it can come back down here and go up higher. I just wouldn't I wouldn't expect that. That's just my I always do this where I draw too much on the chart, and then on the other charts it looks so so bad. Too much going on. That's fine. So we've been able to identify areas. I want to see this remain open. I like that. And this pop up above that. That'll be like the pretty much the end of the stream if we can kind of, you know, pop up there. I'll go till either if it goes up here, I'll stop, or I'll stay until 10:30 pretty much. So this one, I want to see this be a breakaway gap. And then if we can use this one, because there's an old high there, that's fine. That's okay with being a, I mean, failure to get there is even better. Failure to get there, even better. But that's kind of what I would be looking for. Only. And then this is just M1. So I'd like to see us move from there and then attack this up here. I don't want to see us trade all the way back down below this high. That's fine doing what it did there. But going back down here is just, I don't want to see that. Also, look how we failed on Dow. Came real close, failed. This is pulled back. And so we could be getting a little bit deeper run in, but I don't necessarily want to see that. Again, this is very characteristic though of a high resistant day where we get really close to the buy side and we dive deep into the range which has been created. But notice how after 10 o'clock, this is what I just want to show. Notice how after 10 o'clock, it's literally all blue candles. Look how before it's, I mean, yes, they're all blue. This is darker blue. But look how it's one-sided after 10 o'clock. Like it's not, you're not questioning, is it going up or is it going down? You can clearly see that it's gone higher. That's why being in all of this, it's just not, it's not beneficial. It doesn't mean anything to me. That's why waiting is important. And also knowing what to wait for. So, yeah, buying down here and even tagging up there, if that's like, I look for 50 handles. That's 15. That doesn't work for me, but that may be someone else's model. Maybe their model is 25 handles where it did everything that they needed to do, even in a high resistant day. I'm also looking at the bodies, where the bodies are targeting, or the bodies are holding above. But again, we're really close to it. We fell. Just want to make sure the music is fine. What? Like 2 handles away from our target where we were looking to ultimately reach. So we'll see. But again, remember we have a fair value gap here on the 5-minute too. So we can still come down here below this low. I don't want to see us come into this gap. I'd rather see us kind of hold. We're at a high currently. Come back up above there. Now we're in the gap on the 5-minute chart. And so, okay, we hit this. This is no longer a breakaway gap. No longer. Just a fair value gap. Current interval only. So we ran through this. Which again, it's okay. We also have a 5-minute order block here. Here's the opening price of a 5-minute order block. Is right at the kind of the breaker that we were talking about on the 5-minute chart here. And again, I'll stay with you guys till 10:30, or unless this gets hit, which it, I mean, pretty much looks like. Look at the body and then look at that reaction. So this one may be a what you call a reclaimed fair value gap if we can get above it. And if we get above it and then tap down into it before taking out this high, then you can like see this, expect this to be support again, and then to raise to trade higher. Interval. So that's nice. It's a nice reaction from this gap. We want to see it remain a breakaway gap, but it's fine. It came down to this breaker that overlap with this fair value gap. So if we come down into this, which I would not expect, we should be able to take out this high and ultimately up here. That's what I would expect. Now I look at this as it's already hit it, but this is a 1 minute order block. So now we've hit it again. I would expect it to support price. I would not expect it to run right through it again. But that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Because for it to come back below this low, unnecessary for where it's at. For where it's currently at right now, unnecessary for it to come back. It just went deep, trade right above this. I would expect this to now start showing some support here. Traded deep. So deep down into this breaker block where we initially were, looking for price to hit. Dow looks like it's kind of just folded at the top. ES looks like it's kind of folded at the top. And now we're back down into I was like, why is this? See, I thought that this was a breakaway gap, but it's just the red line from the middle. But again, look how deep it's retracing into this. Like there was really no need for it to come down here from where it's at. Like this should have been a tap down and then like just a run higher. That's what it should have been, especially how close we were. So we have about 11 minutes. Either hits up there or we just end at 11. I mean at 10:30. It's gonna check something real quick. So this fair value gap looks like we're just gonna close right through that. Yeah, pretty much where it is for me, it's in no man's land. So I don't necessarily see this as a OTE. 50% trade down to it. We can, go up higher. Just basically after what it kind of have done. If I was in this trade and I was still looking for higher prices, I would have allowed for this. I wouldn't have liked it, but I would allow for this, and then I would have actually put my stop loss up there because I don't think there's any reason for it to be down here for where it is. It should not have gone down that deep. And again, deep retracements is characteristic of high probability or low probability days. Deep retracements. Yeah, to me, looking at the other two, it looks like we may leave this potentially. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I think from where we were, there was no need to trade back down that deep. But again, that's why I'm not necessarily in the trade, not necessarily waiting for anything. Yeah, we just kind of wait out. We have about 8 minutes left, and then call it a day. I think that next week, if I look at the economic calendar next week too, Monday is a bank holiday, so nothing. Tuesday is nothing for me as well. So Wednesday I'll be on. I'm not gonna stream Wednesday. I'll just take a trade Wednesday. So I'll be streaming Thursday and Friday of next week because we have FOMC on Wednesday. So I'll be trading around that time, 2 o'clock, and then unemployment claims on Thursday and Friday. So again, this will be a 2 chill days of Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday after 2, and then I'll be streaming Thursday and Friday of next week. That's the plan. Just looking at it right now. Yeah, like Dow is completely like folding right now. Real close, fold. This got close, folded. This is the closest, and then folded. So we'll see if we can reach up there. I mean, we have 7 minutes left of this this stream. I'm gonna take this off. It's getting kind of busy right now. Can leave that on there. 5 minutes, good. But yeah, just kind of folded here. I appreciate everyone who came out and watched, even though I wasn't taking a trade today. I definitely appreciate that. The support is real here, if you know what I mean. We may get it. Just a deep run. Boom, deep run. But look how it closed. Where it closed, above the mean threshold of this specific candle. So that's nice. But yeah, if I was in this trade for whatever reason, I would have been stopped out before it reached up there if I was looking for it. I wouldn't be in this trade still. But I think we'll get it here. I think this will be the run that takes us above. That, take a little nice picture, we'll end it, and then we'll be back next Thursday at 9:10. Yeah, we're very close to it, so like literally at 9, even if this thing is at like right here at 10:30, I'm literally gonna close it. It's not that big of a deal. It just either hits it or 10:30, one or the other. I do see that there's a little bit of a lag there between when I say something, but I think that's the closest I can get. Here's a volume imbalance right here. I want to see if that can support price. The trade up there. I do see that. See if that can be used to support. Dow is just taking a dump. It is gone. See ya. But this volume imbalance has shown us a little bit of support. We also have an inverse fair value gap on the 1 minute chart. I'm not gonna just clutter with everything that I see, because then I wouldn't be able to see what's happening, and then you wouldn't also be able to see what's happening. Come on, you can do it. You got 3 minutes. Then I'm gonna close the stream. You can do it. You're almost there. You are 12.5 handles away. You can do it. Or 12. See, this day doesn't look like any of the other days that I'm interested in terms of trading. Even though it ultimately did trade higher, even though we could see this buy from down here taking out this low. But again, after 10 o'clock, we ran up one-sided. Now we have this little choppiness, but we'll see if we can reach up there. We have about 2 minutes left. Hopefully we can get that. But if not, that's what I was looking for. And from down here. But we'll see. We shall see what we get. We could get an afternoon fallout, which means a TJF scenario after that, especially if it can get up here or fails to get up here. The PM session, we could see for it coming down and taking some of this out. I got about a minute and a half. Yeah, we may not get it during the stream. It's just fine, or we may not get it at all today. It's done pretty much. I don't know what I was looking for. I guess it traded higher. I could see levels, and that's all that really matters to me. Final targets don't. Yeah, it's just part of the process. It's just like the extra cookie. That's why you don't really ever see me take it fully till here unless that equals the 50. But if it's below, like I'm not looking up here, even though I may be targeting up there. Alright, yeah, so we got about 5 seconds left. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a great day and a blessed day and an amazing weekend. I'll see you guys on Thursday at 9:10. It'll be on the live section, just so you remember. But yeah, I'll be off Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I will be trading just personally by myself. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys for being on. Hope you guys have a blessed day and a blessed weekend. Peace out.